Everyone, this is Adam Quiney, and today what I'm going to talk about is time and money as they pertain to commitment. So let's start by talking about commitment. And the reason commitment is something worth talking about is because anything truly transformational, any real process where you want to transform who you are, and really what we're talking about is any lasting, powerful change, any situation where you're like, boy, I've got this shitty relationship to food, and as a result, I'm always overweight. I want to change that. That would be a transformation where things completely shift. Commitment is the bedrock of transformation. You can't have transformation without commitment. And it hopefully isn't too difficult to see this and why this would be the case. But I'll briefly talk about it, which is that it's your commitment that actually has you go all the way through. Anytime you create transformation, you're going to likely hit a breakdown before you hit your breakthrough. And the reason for this is that you're going to reach a point where everything that you've relied on, everything that's had you get successful up to this point, that's also the stuff that's now stopping you from creating the breakthrough over on this side. And there's going to be a point where you dismantle this, you let this fall away, but you haven't yet created what's next. That's what we call a breakdown. Breakdowns suck, they feel bad. They, if you were to look around you, or even to look to people outside of you, they might tell you, stop what you're doing. It doesn't make sense. That's crazy. That's the breakdown. If someone didn't understand the way a caterpillar works and was to look at them in the middle of their metamorphosis, they'd say, dude, stop this. You've become a bag of goo. You used to be able to walk. Now you're just attached to a branch, sticking there. And so that point, that bag of goo stage is really the breakdown. And it's only commitment that has us stick with it to go all the way through to the other side. Now, as coaches, what we do is money cements people's commitment. When people put down an amount of money, it commits them in a way that there's almost nothing else that does. It really draws forward our commitment. That's why good coaches charge a good fee. So if you're ever looking for coaches and you're looking for how can I get a life coach that charges, maybe $100 a month? You're going to get yourself $100 worth of transformation. It's not really, you can't really distill it down that way, but the truth is, ask yourself, how committed would I be for $100? And here's where time and money kind of come into play. Because what people will often tell me is, no, Adam, don't worry. I would be that committed even without the money. I really want this. Or people would say, well, I really believe time and money are interchangeable, and, I'm willing to put my time into it. That's how I do commitment. And while these people really believe what they're saying, it's not that they're lying, it's not that they're trying to tell a tale or pull the wool over someone's eyes. They really believe that that either they can just commit, period, or that if they give their time to something, they'll truly be committed. And the truth is that's not the case. And I don't have to be right. It's just that I've been right every single time I've worked with anyone that's committed to being a leader and doing their work, is that time, good intentions, and a true belief that you will stay committed are not substitutes. And part of the trouble with time is that I can't take a jar of your time. I can't fill a jar up with, your time and put it on a shelf back here to sort of serve as a holder, to sort of serve as a reminder. Time isn't something you can give me up front. It's something that happens in the moment. Money, however, you can. You can transfer an amount of money to someone. You can give it to someone. And that symbolizes and crystallizes your commitment. And the truth is that when people don't put something on the line, when they don't invest in themselves powerfully this way, it simply doesn't draw out from them a commitment sufficient to have them go all the way through the eye of the needle. They get up all the way there, and they've got great intentions, and then what happens is they decide, you know what, maybe I don't really need this that much. Maybe I don't really want that much. You know what, my job's not that bad. You know what, my life's not that bad as it is. Why am I trying to change things? You know what, it is kind of nice sleeping in. I don't really like getting up and going to the gym anyhow. And so it's not to suggest that the only way you can create transformation is by putting money on the line. You know, what life will do sometimes is it'll just take your job away from you. You'll get fired or let go of your position. That's going to create a commitment in you as well. But most people aren't willing to create that same kind of commitment, you know, leading into any kind of like work with a coach. They're not, okay, I'm going to quit my job and then do this work with you. There's a lot of coaches I know, myself included, they'd be like, cool, if you do that, I believe you're going to be committed. Let's do some work together. But people aren't willing to do that. And so money is really our best proxy. It's the best thing we can do. It's the most liquid form of commitment that we can hand or deal with. So I think the most important thing here is to recognize that there's no substitute. There's no substituting time for money. Well, time is money and money is time in a way, because what most of us do is we trade our time for money, and money allows us to leverage our time better and to hire people to do stuff we don't want to do. As far as commitment is concerned, the truth is that for most people, time isn't money and money isn't time. There's no substitute. So if you're really looking into really transforming your life, if you're really interested in creating yourself as a powerful, transformational leadership, it's time to get out of that context and start looking at yourself looking at what you could create from the point of view of what would I create and what would I value that at? What would be the value of having created myself that way? That's the only real window through which to look at this sort of thing. Time and money.